Let's go out to Raleigh, North Carolina, and talk to Jade. What's up, Jade?
Hi, how are you?
I mean, I could not be better. How are you?
Good.
What's up?
So, I guess just to get straight to the point.
Cannonball, dude. Yeah, just jump in.
Yeah, I've been doing really good in my life. I'm in a healthy relationship. I've gone into a positive direction. But for some reason, I just can never forgive myself for all the bad decisions I've made in the past. And I just feel like I'm just always angry with myself.
What'd you do?
So I got into a really bad relationship that kind of destroyed everything. Like my family, it destroyed me financially. I married him knowing that he had a baby with my friend. He was always, hiding things behind my back, lying to me, and just doing there's so many red flags of why I should have never been with him. And, I finally made the decision after I married him to divorce him because I just couldn't take the emotional, mental abuse anymore, the financial abuse. And I'm in a better place with my life now, but every single time I do something well, I'm like, wow, I could have done this such a long time ago if I had never made those bad decisions. And
you would not be near the gangster that you are right now if you had not been through that.
Yeah, I don't really feel like that sometimes.
I know.
I just feel very angry with myself.
I know. Who taught you in your life that when you're abused, it's your fault?
I guess it's my mom.
Somebody taught you that. Yeah. Well, how did she teach you that?
Well, even if I could do everything right, and if something happens wrong, she finds some way to have, even though I could have done everything to prevent that from happening. If just something happens wrong, it's you should have done X, Y, and Z better. You should have done this. And I've kind of always felt if I am not perfect, or if I don't find a way to make sure there is no mistakes, that I'm just a complete failure.
And somehow over time, her constant criticism and critique and negativity. You've probably heard me use this analogy, but you were born with a backpack, a beautiful little girl. Where were you born?
I was born in Okinawa, Japan.
Okay. Beautiful little girl in Okinawa. And makes your way to the States. And your mom just keeps dropping little pebbles in your backpack every day. Why are you wearing that? You're too fat. Don't fix your hair like that. It makes you look ugly. You have a big forehead. And I'm just making stuff up. I've never seen you. But just never stops. Why did you do this? Is this the best you can? You couldn't have got 100. You just got a 98. It's stupid, right? Little pebble, little pebble, little pebble. And after a while, that backpack gets really freaking heavy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And after a while, her words become your words. So when you talk that way to yourself, that's not your voice. That's your mom's voice. Fair?
Yeah.
Now, how many years ago did you start this relationship with this dude?
So he was actually my high school sweetheart. So I've been with him for a long time before I finally broke it off because I just
How old was he?
couldn't handle it.
How old was he?
When we first met, we were in our teenage years, and then finally when we separated.
What was great about him when you met him? Was he cute? Was he funny? Was he silly?
Yeah, all of that.
Okay. Were you 16, 14? How old were you?
I was 15.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Here's homework assignment number 1. I want you to write 15-year-old Jade a letter, a handwritten letter with notebook paper and a pen. And I want you to forgive her. Let her go. She was a kid. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you met a 15-year-old little girl, how old are you now?
I'm 28.
If you met a 15-year-old girl who was just beating herself up because her boyfriend was slowly taking her soul from her and taking her innocence from her and was slowly controlling her, and she was just telling you what a terrible girlfriend she is, what would you say to her?
That she shouldn't be in that relationship.
Yeah, and you tell her, hey, you're a kid. Chill out. You need to tell 15-year-old Jade that boy was cute and that boy was funny, and she acted like every other 15-year-old girl. And she had a crush on him, and she went on a date with him, and then she fell in love with him. And nobody could have predicted the quicksand that you would have ended up in. And abuse and trauma and gaslighting and psychosis, all those things wreak havoc on people. We find ourselves doing things we would never do just to keep the peace for a minute, just to keep safety, just to keep whatever. And then your second letter, I want you to write. How old were you when you broke up with this dude, when you got divorced?
I was I think 26.
Okay. I want you to write 26-year-old Jade a letter and tell her how proud of her you are. For getting the courage to stand up, for getting the courage to walk away, from getting the courage from all of it. And be very specific in that letter. You did this and you did this. Good for you. And then here's my big question for you. Is any of this constant beating up on yourself? You talk to yourself in a way that you would never let somebody talk to another person that you love. If somebody at a bar talked to one of your girlfriends the way you talk to yourself, you would hit them in the mouth with a beer bottle, right? I know you would. So my question is any of this self-talk helping? Is any of this helping you get where you want to be?
No.
Okay.
It just upsets me, and
it does.
I just get down on myself even more.
Because from the earliest age you can remember, the one person who was supposed to be in your corner all the time declared war on you. And from as early as you can remember, the first guy who looked at you and said, I love you and I'll be here forever, was a piece of crap.
Yeah.
So it's easy for your body to think, oh, this is what I'm worth all across the board. The most important woman, my first love, all, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what you have to decide is, I'm done with this. Jade is an absolute gangster who's been through hell and back, and I got the scars to prove it. Bring it on, world. And mom, if you're going to continue to criticize me, then you are choosing to not be in a relationship with this gangster. Bye, Felicia. Hey, new boyfriend, if you get an ounce of dishonesty, dude, I'm a smoke show. I'm awesome. I'm Jade. Bye, Felicia.
Right.
And when Jade starts talking to Jade really bad, negatively, I want you to keep a little journal once you start writing that crap down. And I want you to physically write it down and physically draw a line through it and write underneath it, lies, not true. Or occasionally, I probably shouldn't have eaten 2 McGriddles. Fair. Right? That's fair. You could circle that one and say, true. All right?
Yeah.
All right, so I just talked a lot at you. Tell me how you're feeling.
I feel a bit better about it. I guess, like, I kind of worry that, like, a lot of these habits that I've kind of picked up from all of that is kind of like entering into my new relationship too, and I just don't want that to transition there because I'm trying to remember that he's not my ex, and it's really hard for me.
So here's the way to overcome it. Keep no secrets. Here's what that means. Does this new person you're in a relationship with, do they know all your past?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to take them out and say, I like you. Have you said I love you? Gross.
Yeah, I have.
I don't want to wait. All right, so I want you to take him out and say, I love you. And I am finding myself falling into old patterns. I'm not going to allow that to happen again. And if you love me, you're going to walk alongside me. Here's what this means. This means I'm going to have to practice. If you catch me with negative self-talk, I'm asking you to call it out. If you see me withdrawing, I'm going to ask you to reach out and grab my hand and say, I love you. Whatever it is that you need in those moments. I want you to speak those needs out. And when you speak those needs out, you're going to feel buck naked on the Taylor Swift stage in front of all these people. You're going to feel so exposed, right? Because nobody's ever given a crap what you need or want or feel.
Right.
And it's time. But you can't expect them to if you're not going to give yourself that.
Right.
Are you in?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try not to be as mean to myself.
No! Better than that. I'm freaking Jade. And I want a reckless, hilarious, fun marriage. Drama-free. I want a job that's not toxic. I want adult relationships that aren't stupid. And I'm worth all that. Fair?
Fair.
What's your favorite charity in the world? Like, what's a thing that's near and dear to your heart?
The domestic violence awareness.
Do you have a local chapter there in Raleigh?
Yeah, we do. We have like a women's shelter that usually helps them.
Okay. Will you make me a deal here on the radio?
Yeah.
Say, I promise.
I promise.
Oh, this is amazing. You're such a sucker. I can't believe you said yes to this. Okay. Every time you talk negative to Jade, you have to send them $1. Every time.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. It's going to cost you money.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
You have to put some roadblocks up between your automated response, whether that's a behavior, whether that's an action, whether it's grabbing a drink or grabbing a cigarette or running away, or between your thoughts. Here's a funny example that's not so funny, and I'm not proud of it, but it just is. I have a buddy who wants to drink less, and I eat way too much junk food. So I put $1,000 on the table. $1,000. The first person, he has a drink, or if I grab junk food. $1,000. The first person to blink, the other person's got to pay. And I figured out really quickly, I'm so mindless. I just reach over. There's candy everywhere here. There's junk food and donuts everywhere here at work. And everywhere I go, my house, it's Easter, good God. And I just grab it. And so I started to grab it the very first time, right after I made this deal. I reached over to grab it, and I was by myself, and I just flipped it off. I gave it to Bird. And then it made me laugh because I was just trying to say, like, no. I took a picture of it, and I texted it to him. And then every time I started mindlessly grabbing it, it was making me laugh. I would give it to Bird, and I'd take a picture of it and text it to him. And in about a week, I quit grabbing it. What I needed was something to, it's just called mindfulness. I needed something to stop my automated response. You suck. Oh, there's $1. I'm Venmoing the women's shelter. He's going to get so mad if you, there's $1. I'm sending the Venmo. I'm sending the shelter. I can't believe you're so stupid. You're late. There's another $1, right? I'm going to put these little roadblocks in front of me so that I can begin to catch myself in this automated responses. And you're going to have to decide, I'm going to quit carrying this crap around. Are you done carrying it, Jade?
Yeah, I really am.
You promise?
I promise.
Tell this boy that you're dating, you're about to get a whole new woman. And I'm going to be fun, and we're going to be goofy, and we're going dancing. Everything's changing. And it's going to be a bumpy shot out of the gate. We're going to have to figure this out and practice it, but we're changing it all. We're changing all of it because I'm Jade and I want a different world. I want a different life. I want a different life. And if that means you got to cut people out of your life, good. If that means you have to add new people in your life, good. Whatever it takes, Jade. You're worth that and everything good you got coming for you. You've been through hell and back and you got the scars. Now I want you to stand up and realize how strong and how tall you are. And how awesome whatever's coming next can be. If you make some hard choices and some hard changes, you're worth it.